Legends, welcome back to the channel. John here with some more Proton content for you. Today we're going to be fitting 1.5 SE wheel trims to a Proton 1.5 SE. You might think, hang on a minute, why does this need a video? Well, I'll tell you for why, because it's not as simple as taking the old ones off and putting the new ones on. I wish it was, but it's not. Things you're going to need, first and foremost, is this. This is a nut tool. It is a wheel trim removal and putting on tool. Also you're going to need, to do this, some wheel nuts, because as you can see on these wheel trims, they are held in place by a locking tool, locking nut, which are here. They screw onto a thread on the wheel, and you'll see that in just a moment's time. They've got some washers on there as well, which I believe the washers I have got in the car. So we're going to be putting these on this. So you may have noticed already, I've got 4 wheel trims, obviously, but only 3 nuts. That's a bad thing, because normally, where on earth would you find one of these? You're going to need to get one machined, right? But obviously, I'm John Coupland, I'm the Proton guy, so clearly I've got some in stock, right? He says. I believe I've got some in stock. I just need to open my garage and make sure that I can remember where I've put them. Oh, my garage was unlocked. That's good, isn't it? Oh, bonus MR2 content for you on the YouTube. Right, this is an organised chaos. Proton toolkit here should have, in theory, a set of wheel trims. There he goes, what did the boy say? They're not as nice as the ones that are currently on the car, but for now, for this process, oh, there's 10 pence in there as well. For this process, I'm going to just nab probably the nicest one. Should really paint it, shouldn't I? But I'm not going to at this time. But I've got some spare nuts of these. They need these washers as well. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. There's a better one there. We'll use that one. Some spanners and bits and pieces as well. There's the key you need. And also, 12 pence up. Happy days. Right, so I've got my extra wheel nut thing. I'm going to just shut my garage by MR2. You've not seen that yet on the channel. I might show you, I might not. What do you think? MR2 content, do you want it? Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a video about my MR2. What else do I need? I need a wheel brace now, don't I? Let's go grab a wheel brace, first and foremost. Let's get that. More organised chaos. Where is my wheel brace? Here it is. Bonus Proton content. There's a 1.3 GL. There's a 1.5 SL. There's a 1.5 GL. Just for you. This morning. Beautiful morning. Shame it's a bit overcast. Right, back to the car. The next port of call then is to remove these god-awful, horrible wheel trims. Just gotta make sure we've got everything we need. Wheel brace. 4 nuts. Yes, and they've got these little washers on. So make sure you don't lose them washers because they sit in against the trim. Don't lose the washers. And the fitting adapter. It's basically like a hex nut, hex bolt with 2 studs on, and they locate and then you fit them. Right, let's get these off. Of course it wasn't going to be easy. I'm going to need to get some gloves. Can't find my gloves, hashtag organised chaos. So I've got myself a rag, and I'm going to just put that around my fingers and give these a good pull. There's no way I can hold this and film it, so the next thing you'll see is hopefully this will be off the car. Yeah, as Teddy Ruxpin once said, 2 hands are better than 1. I've got that off, and I can't work out where I'm putting this new nut unless it's to replace one of those. Haven't done this for a while. This is going to be a learning curve. 4 horrible, vile, aftermarket £10 Halfords wheel trims are off the car. Left on steelies. God, that looks awful, doesn't it? Now it's time to fit the originals. But first, a word of advice. The best thing to do is to clean them first, right? So I'm going to take them in the house against Mrs. John Coupland's wishes, give them a good scrub in the sink, and then fit them. Now, thankfully, Mrs. John Coupland is out at work this morning, so I'm allowed to mess about in the kitchen with Proton wheel trims. Bonus content for it having an iPod. Thumbs up for iPods. This is dirty though, which is fine for cleaning Proton stuff. In the sink this morning, yeah, my sink is disgusting. It'll be worse by the time I've finished, but I'm going to get this full and give these a blooming good scrub. Well, I'm going to need quite a bit of water, but thankfully I've got with me the handy Proton SE wheel trim cleaner. Of course I haven't, it's just little washing up liquid. Loads of that in there. I'm sure I don't need that much and someone's going to tell me off. Bubbles! But it's going to give us a good opportunity to give it a good scrub. Get that water nice and soapy, and then it's going to be a case of just dipping them in and giving them a wash. I've got a used sponge and pad here. I don't want to start scrubbing with a pad because it's going to take the silver effect off. It's going to take the paint off. I'm just going to give them a bit of a clean before we fit them to the car. Just get some oil and dirt and grime off. Well, it's as if my sink was made for Proton wheel trims. Yeah, give them a scrub, boiling hot water, get them on the car. Awesome. Now, if by some chance of a Christmas miracle you're clearing out a Proton dealership from 1999 and you need a full set of these, PR001390 is the part number for these. Coming up nice. Come up okay, that one. Just going to dip it back in the fairy liquid and leave it to one side. I'm just going to rinse these off when I've finished. I'm just giving them a scrub. I'm not cleaning all the backs off because what is the blooming point? No one's ever going to see it. I know that's half-arsed, but I'm just going to clean the fronts off. Hey John, those wheel trims, they weren't that dirty, were they? Well, yeah, they were. We've given them a good old scrub. The next thing I'm going to do is just rinse them off and then fit them to the car. They look much better than they did sort of 10 minutes ago. I've not given them a concourse winning scrub, but they're better than they were, and they're going to look much, much better on the car in 10 minutes time. Literally just rinsing them off then, just to get the suds and the bubbles off. Nothing extensive. See, I've given them a good scrub on the back as well, this one. But no, nothing extensive with regards to cleaning these. Oh, that was hot. And I'm going to just pop them there on the carpet just to dry off a little bit. That's all 4 wheel trims now clean. You can see how much better they look. Are they perfect? No. Am I tempted to T-cut some of the scuffs out? Yes. Am I going to? Absolutely no way, in case I end up going through the paint and then that becomes a big issue, a big process. Next thing then, let's get them on the car. So, as you can see, the valves are here, and there's going to be a cutout for these valves in the trims, which means that these are going to be sided. So the first port of call, and I know I should be spraying these wheels by the way, the first port of call is to find out which is the worst wheel trim, which has been the most scuffed, and put it back into place on the passenger side. I'm going to say this one, probably, and then I'm going to work out which nut I need to remove. It's going to be that one, so they're opposites to here. So this nut is going to come off, and the locking wheel nut is going to go into place there. So when you're doing this, remember, if you're ever doing this, am I the only person doing this? Cut out for your valve, remember that, and obviously take the right nut off. Next thing we're going to do then, crack that nut. One wheel nut removed. So the next thing is to line up the wheel trim and put it into place. Difficult one-handed, and put the new nut in. I'm going to do that not one-handed. Or am I? No, I'm not going to do it. And there it is. That is one Proton SE wheel trim fitted. I've had a little bit of a contemplation as to how tight am I doing this, because I can do that up until the ends of the earth and I'll end up cracking the trim. But also, it's a wheel nut. So I've just done it tight and then some, with a view of actually going and doing my research and maybe speaking to Dad before taking this any further. Because I don't want to have that too loose and it come flying off. But I also don't want to have it too tight and it crack the trim. That's one down then. Really simple. Got another 3 to do, and then we'll have a look at the car. And there you go. That's it then. A full set of 4 Proton 1.5 SE wheel trims fitted to the car, and oh my goodness, hasn't it made such a styling difference already? Let me know what you think. Would you have kept the old ones on? Holford Special? Proton OEM? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe if you want more Proton content. Until next time, have a great day, whatever you're getting up to. Take care and goodbye.